Today is August 26, 2025. This is the 16 form class. And I believe we have already done snake sticks out its tongue. Or did we say, no, we decided to save that. All right, so today, it's all about, yes, snake sticks out its tongue is the movement of the day. Let's get up and do a little walkthrough of what we know so far, and then we'll pause for station identification. Remember when they used to say that? All right. If you would all be so kind as to join me on the dance floor. And, that's why. There we go. Okay. Now and there you are. And here I am. What we need is a little sinking of the chi. That's what we need. Breathe in. Gather that all in and breathe out. One more time. S'il vous plaît. I'm so good at Tai Chi, I can do it in French. One more time. Una más. And Spanish too. All right, now stay with me as the left foot steps to the left for opening the door. Hands float up. And they begin to float down, but as they do so, you're already sinking to your left foot. And then cloud hands to the right. Take a step, why don't you? Take a step in, but it's really for single whip. So I grab the whip and now you step up a half step with a big hug and slide that left hand under, thread it through the fist, under the elbow. Catching the moon, suddenly the crane spreads wings. One of my favorite transitions in all of Tai Chi, the circle around for brush knee. And here we go. Beautiful. Step off a half a step and it's play pipa time. A single monkey, just one. Here's a little rock and roll. I'm just readjusting my heel there. Swing, bada, 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 bada. There I am. All right, we're gonna turn around now. First, catching the moon. And if you recall from our last episode, this is a big wide step across the line, part horse's mane. Then make a fist there at the right hip. Punch down. Right in the old sweet spot there. Well, how was that? Questions? You just want to do it again, don't you? All right. I hear you. All right. And then after this time, I'm going to expect you to tell me what your least favorite move is so that we can work on it. Yeah? Okay. Sink the chi, because, you know, chi. Left foot steps to the left and center. Slowly, both hands float up in the air. And then just like, settling down in the hot tub, slowly shifting to the left foot, scooping up that water and cloud hands one. Here you take that step. Here you follow it up. And it's almost like you're going to do another cloud, but instead it turns into a hook. And then one whip. También. All right. This is an empty step change, a half step forward, a big hug of the tree so that the left hand can slide up there like sloppy. There we go. Grab the moon, raise it up, crane spreads wings. Coiling. This is literally called coiling or reeling the silk. Shock the monkey. You're stepping blindly now, I know. Called trust. Riding the tiger. Sit back and turn those left toes inward a bit so I can come back onto it. Take that big wide step and part horse's mane. Stepping up. Grab that fist at your right hip, then punch down. Right there, right there. All right. I keep looking over in the corner over here because I used to have a clock on the wall, and the clock fell down and broke its crown the other day. So there's nothing there. I just keep looking at it. All right. Questions, or tell me what your move that's not quite gelling yet is.
Um, After the whip, and fist under elbow, um, um, the movements between there and all the way to fist down, those movements are hard to remember.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So throughout this class, I've talked about these little things. This is a really different kind of routine than we've ever learned before. And it's almost like somebody had all these little like funny things in his head, little jokes, little um, nuanced discovery they made over the years about his Tai Chi. And he thought, I'm just going to put all that stuff into one routine, all the jokes, all of the weird little things like that. And so what this routine is a collection of those weird little moments. I really like them. I think that they're what are some of my favorite moments of Tai Chi. Um, so when you look at how do I remember these movements, I recommend that you remember them in just like in pairs or little chunks, because that's actually like the setup and the punchline of each joke, right? Um, for example, after fist under elbow, right? You're here, fist under elbow. Well, the next movement is crane spreads wings, but we usually get to crane spreads wings like in the long form, the traditional long form. Crane spreads wings, comes from here, and it's like this big twist in and then lift up, and there's this waist turn. That doesn't happen here. You're like fist under elbow, and then I just go bloop and lift. It's like a little gotcha in a way, right? And so all of those movements in between, fist and elbow and where we got to today, don't worry about remembering that whole thing in a chunk because it doesn't make that much sense. It's only when you look at each little pair or triplet and you see the joke in it, then it makes the sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the rest of it, like literally, if you ever said this about any routine and you said, just fake it in between, just fake it in the fill, like it would apply to this routine. I don't know if that helps, Sean, but that's the best I got for you today. Yeah, what else? Monica's trying to
The
get
step from horse's mane to punch down is a straight step out.
Yes. So there's always room for Tai cheating in all of your practice, all of your routines and whatnot. So in ideal condition, if you did everything perfectly and you were there in at the end of part horse's mane, this foot, which was the front foot pointing this way, is oriented at exactly 45 degrees back on the original line again. But maybe you weren't so perfect the first time. Maybe this is too narrow or something like that. So if the foot is in fact placed perfectly, it is a weight shift here and a straight step forward for punch down. If you need to adjust this foot, you can do this shift, pivot, then straight step. It works either way, just depending on like where you ended up. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You'll also find that the swing of the left hand, right? So you're here at the end of part horse's mane here. So this left hand is basically just going to like float up a little bit and then swing around, right? It needs to get into blocking position, right? But that swing around will help to balance you as you take that step. This is your tightrope walker's big balance beam, right? So here, it's going to balance you, stabilize you while I take that step. All right, so I can tell you what Dan's cheating ways are doing, and probably several of the rest of you that I just haven't called out yet. Dan's going to fire me any day now. Enough of this abuse. If I wanted this kind of abuse, I'd just go talk to my wife. So what Dan is doing is he is stepping up onto that right foot, that supporting leg, as if he were going forward. When in fact, as we all know, the proper orientation is going downward, right? So if you go forward, then that will pull you off center, right? The action here is to go down. So at this point in Dan's training, I have to remind him that when he rises and falls, it's $5 an inch that he owes me there.
Can you not go up, go up and down if you're? I'm here. I am. I'm gonna
So
step out.
you step out
I'm gonna rotate. Now I don't.
first.
I don't. I'm not gonna lean forward here. Is that how it's done?
kind of only with style. Um,
I have never had style.
no, I'm so sorry. I'm just in a great mood today for some reason. I'm so happy to see you guys. So the first action is always to sink before you rotate, before you reach, before you start to step up. The first action is always sink. So I'm in the final position of part horse's mane. I begin my sinking, and it reels out in a row fairly quickly. You don't like sink and finish the sinking and then you turn. It's like, but you initiate the sinking is the first action. So I'm already sinking and then I'm turning and then I'm stepping. And by the time I get there, I'm in a like super stable position. Right. And that looked so much better. Didn't it feel better?
Yes, it did.
Glad you said. Correct answer was yes. Okay, good. Um, Hi, Dee. Dan is so glad you're here, so I have somebody else to pick on. Um, let's all do that together because I think this is a good kind of movement to work on. Um, we don't have to be in any particular position. We can just like start from here so that we can practice the principle. So I'm stepped out into the final position of part horse's mane. I've just made part horse's mane. Now, D, just to orient you here, we're working on the way that we step in the 16 form, which is actually to pull that left foot directly forward so that it just falls in line to a new bow step. It's a little bit different. So there doesn't need to be a rock back here. Now, the action from this point forward is to start with the sink. The sink begins first, but quickly after that, I'm already stepping up, rotating. Or actually, I fell back into bad habit. Hold on a sec. So I'm sinking down, rotating, stepping up, and that, see how easy it is then to just step that foot forward and unwind into the punch down. One more time. Just because I screwed it up this last time. So here, so I don't have to do any rock back. I don't have to do any turn around here. I am going to leave this front foot now as the new perfectly aligned back foot of the next step here. Part horse's mane, sink, shift in, punch down. Right. I know this is really technical, I realize, but play along with me here for a second. When you change the angle of your step, change the angle of your orientation, you create rotations that weren't there before. When you change, I need to look you in the face when I'm saying this here. If you change your orientation, like where you're starting from, right? I'm going to leave my hands here. Now I'm just going to change my orientation. You see, I have created a counter rotation where there wasn't one there before. So here I am at parting horse's mane. I've sort of like spent my rotations in the movement, but now I'm going to change my orientation to here, and look, that automatically creates a counter rotation. What's the point, DDR? Let's get to it. When you do this transition from part horse's mane into punch down, you don't need to swing very much at all. You're actually in the right position because the change of orientation will do the wind up for you. Right? Here I am. I'm just going to reach across, step. Now look, just the step out, my hips are now in a different alignment. That's all the rotation I need to come back with the punch. See, this is what happens when I come to class after I've been writing the textbook. My head is all full of all this technical stuff. Yeah, see, Dan, you so how much less effort you had to put into getting the turn in and rotating. Like it was just right there. This
Yeah.
again is one of those little jokes inside this routine. It's
Yeah.
like I'm gonna pull a fast one on you here. I'm here, don't need any rotation because I'm already there, and then surprise. Cool. D, we're playing what's your least favorite movement today?
Playing the peacock.
Play the peepaw. Ooh, play the peepaw. So there's you know the Jerry Lewis movies where they're two people are fighting like this, fighting. There's a little bit of that going on in Play the Peepaw. So here I am at the end of brush knee, and I'm doing just one, right? Boom. This pushing hand goes down a little bit, the other hand comes up a little bit, and boom, play the peepaw. In actual Kung Fu martial arts application, if you could imagine this as a person's forearm from elbow down to wrist, you are capturing it like that. Right? So I'm here, somebody's trying to grab me, I capture him here and control. That's what's known as the method of use. So from brush knee, I'm just going to shorten my step by half. And as this toe touches down, I grab the wrist and lift the elbow. And that's all she wrote. Yeah, John, that's perfect. One more time. From the end of brush knee, take a little half step. And as my toe hits the ground, I grab the wrist and lift the elbow. Do it from the other angle there, just in case it's better. Who knows? So here's brush knee. I'm going to take my little half step here, grab the wrist, lift the elbow. Nice. Super. All right, Dee, did you have a least favorite move that you were going to share?
Sorry, I would have to think a minute. So I give my turn to someone else if they have.
All right. Well, I'm going to come back to you anyway. So, KK, how about you?
I would just like to see you put all those last moves together.
Sure. Which is the best view? This view or my good side?
From the good side.
All right.
So I know I'm going
And
in
where
the
do you
right direction.
where do you want me to pick it up from? From Repulse Monkey?
Yeah, brush knee, repulse monkey, somewhere along in there, all the way to the end.
All right, so I'm going to do it from Repulse Monkey here. I just take one step, and then what happens is this little back and forth weight shift. First to get my right heel down, then to step into that step, riding the tiger. Then sit back, the left toe adjusts. Here's that wide step across the midline, part horse's mane. Sink. unwind, punch down. Better?
Yes, it's just I don't have it all memorized. I can follow you easily, but I don't have it in me.
No worries. No worries. How do you do that? How do you memorize those routines?
For me, I have to, after being with you, I have to go back and have my alone time, and I have to take everything apart bit by bit and
Ah,
then put it back together. That's my learning style.
so everybody has their own learning style, but often what we tend to overlook, and oftentimes we overlook it because we don't have the luxury of time in our lives to spend all this time. But the actual way that you wind up, so this is another one of the textbook topics. What is learning? What does that mean when you say I learned something? And it really comes down to memory. Do you remember it? Do you remember it accurately? Can you reproduce it when asked? And can you use it to accomplish a task or solve another problem? So it really is all about memory. Now, memory is not enhanced by the careful dissection and study of the movement. That's a different property. There's benefit of it, obviously, right? But it's not about memory. You don't improve your memory. The only way that we lock in memories is through repetition and iterations. That's that's the way the brain works. Period. End of story. We might wish it was this is what every college kid wishes. It could just be one pill and I remember everything for the final. Right?
Yeah.
But the brain just does not work like that. So you see a movement, and the other thing is that we all have this internalized perfectionism. It's like, not only do I have to remember the movement, but I fucking better get it right. I mean, otherwise I'm just terrible. Messy is better. Messy is a better approach. It clears the way for the retention of the event. Right? That internalized perfectionism actually causes the memory to not lock in. And that's why it's so hard after you've taken a lesson with me, you go home and you study, you come back and you go, God, I still didn't remember. After all of that, I still didn't get it, right? Because that perfectionism actually prevents the memory. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not disputing anything that Dee says about her learning style. Like it has immense other benefits, not the least of which is like that's what she's kind of used to, and she's got a groove going on when she does that. Like that's also very helpful. But let's be clear about what benefit it does give you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So hang out with Karen more often in the studio. That's how, and Karen, throw this puppy into your choreography, and right? That's how we do it. Cool. All right, we've got time for another my least favorite movement. Monica, what's your least favorite?
Sorry, my computer's a bit finicky. Yeah, and I just wanted to verify that last little bit, and then I'm ready. But when we do this and we go, and it is let's see, you do that wide, and then you do a brush, parting the horse's mane, rather, right?
Right,
And
right.
then like it's that.
Yeah, when you come across, right, I I see one part where the question mark forms above your head.
Yeah, okay.
So when you're doing the step up after part horse maze is done and you're doing the next piece here, that frisbee hand turns into a fist,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And we talked about this last time. I know it was, like ages ago, but it turns into a fist and then just hangs out in your pocket for a moment until it's ready to punch.
Oh, okay. Oh, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
take a step and then punch. Okay. And then this
I
hand
know. It's
here
like, wait, that's
just
all.
kind of does it just sits there basically, right? Okay. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy. I was thinking, oh, there had to be a twirl here
I
somewhere,
This is the
whatever.
thing. This is Tai Chi derangement syndrome.
Okay, thank you so much.
We all think, like, we mention the word Tai Chi and all of a sudden it becomes so complicated. It's like, oh, like it's so what? It's like, no, actually, it's not. It's like I took a step and I threw something on the ground. That's all it is. Right? I took a step and I threw something on the ground. That's all it is. It was the other guys, haha, but that's what I threw on the ground.
So I have a least favorite now. It's
Okay.
single whip.
Okay. In this routine.
Um, Not necessarily, but it's the part where snake creeps down. The
Oh,
part,
snake creeps down.
yeah,
Oh,
which is
also
really easy.
known as squatting single whip. So I was working on the biomechanics of the squat motion this morning. And from a strictly scientific definition or description of it, it is a hip articulation that pushes your tuchus backwards. And I don't think we really talk about this or point that out enough when we do this. So you're in single whip and now you're going to turn it into a squatting single whip. So how
Yep.
do you do that? You articulate the hip and stick your butt out, right? That's how it goes down. Stick your butt out. Not too much, but there you go. Now, nothing else has changed from single whip, sit back, stick your butt out. And the top hand goes over the top and down. And you just follow it back to single whip. Right? One more time. So you're in single whip, standing single whip. Now I say, oh, you know what would be really great right here is a squatting single whip. All right. So, one thing, very important. Yeah, I apologize for not bringing this up before. This is really important for safety as well as for the ability to do this. This back foot has to turn out. So in single whip, this back foot is pointing forward at 45 degrees. When you start to squat, part of that is to turn this back foot out 45 degrees. Then stick your butt out. Then over the top she goes. And when you come back, you bring the toe back to the original 45. It's like a dance of the feet.
Thank you.
Oops, that's not it. All right, so now I think should be pointing this way to be consistent, yes? All right, so here I am. This is the footwork for single whip. And then I'm about to shift back and I have to turn those toes out 45 degrees. There's my squat. Now I'm coming through and I bring that back foot back into the original alignment again. Let's do that again. I'm just so happy to be able to use this camera. So there's my back foot. I'm going to turn it out backwards 45 degrees, start to come through, replace the foot forward 45 degrees. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you. It's kind of like
All
getting
right.
the butt out there is the is
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
right,
so this is another one of those internalized perfectionism things. Like you're looking at your classmates, or you're looking at me or whatever. It's like, geez, his butt sticks out way more than I does, and he doesn't even have one, right? So that kind of comparison is irrelevant. It's you're sticking your butt out according to your own range of motion, flexibility, strength of the lower body, all that kind of stuff, right?
right.
It's individual, but you've got to at least have the intention. Yeah. And so here's the thing. If I just bend over, right? This is actually the same thing as sticking your butt out. Right? It's just that I've changed my orientation. So I'm going to bend over. Now, if I keep everything in my body exactly locked in, but I lift my head, you see what has to happen there? Right? So when you step back and you say, how does DDR want me to stick my butt out? You just like fold.
And in the knees, the shift in
So
the knee.
the knees, yes. So the knees then articulate. This is just because otherwise your legs would break.
Yes.
But we over focus on bending the knees. I can't tell you how many books I've read and videos that I've seen. I've even said it, bend the knees or whatever. And it's really the wrong point of orientation. It will lead to a lot of confusion, inefficiencies, and just doesn't seem to work so well. If you just focus on the hips, the knees will take care of themselves, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. All right, great questions on my least favorite movement. We need to work on the snake. So the snake has a palm strike that comes out. And this palm strike is the snake's tongue. Now watch me one time, and then we'll break this down together. So it's going to involve a 180 turnaround from punch down. All right. So there's a little clearing and then a surprise. Right? Let's do the foot thing first. So I'm in a bow step, right back on the old lane again in punch down, but I want to be completely facing the opposite direction. So this is our walking like a cat drill. Come with me now into those thrilling days of yesteryear when we studied this. Right? The walking like a cat drill. Right? Remember? 5 pieces, 5 phases. Sit back 1, rotate 2, step all the way in 3, step out just on the heel 4, and then sink down into your bow step 5. Right? You got these. One more time. So this is the footwork from the end of punch down. Sit back, turn, step in, now step out, and bow step. Yep. Yep. When you're in punch down, your left shoulder should be towards the back wall. Right? And so then when you turn around here, you're actually facing the camera again, facing the front. Just in case you're like, what? Right. Okay, so let's think about the left hand here. It's quite a sinister point of view. Sorry, I had to, right? So at the end of punch down, this left hand is by your hip, palm down, just like it is at the end of part horse's mane and all those other things, right? When I start my sit back, it rises like there's sun in my face, right? And it stays there almost all the way around here. Left hand is down on my hip, right? When I start my turnaround, it rises up, shades my brow all the way to here. And then it's going to come right to my rib cage, right? It's going to come right to my rib cage and then stick out the tongue. So in kind of a way, it's kind of going here, here, here. Right? It's just like up here, goes here, here, here. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't linger in here. It just has to come in there for a second. Got to check and make sure there's no male, and then goes out again. Right? One more time. Répétez, s'il vous plaît. See, I can do it in French. Répétez, s'il vous plaît. Just the left hand. So it's coming up to shade your brow all the way. Now, rib cage, stick out the tongue. Mm-hmm. So there is this moment, it is in phase 3 of your walking like a cat. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, boom, ending in T-step, right? Ending in T-step, end of phase. That is the precise moment of rib cage. So 1, or actually starting from here, 1, 2, here we go, rib cage, tongue. Yeah. All right, let me give you a couple minutes to just play around with that, see how that works.
When the hand comes back to the rib cage, is the palm up and then
Yes.
it,
Well, no, it's so you are in this, shading your temple kind of move. And if you just drop that hand straight down, you'd see that it was palm down.
okay,
So
thank you.
I'm here all the way back. It's just right here for a moment. It's like touch and go.
Okay, so it never changes like a punch, like the fist coming out. Thank you.
I asked you this last time I tried this fancy little thing here. Should I be on the flipped around orientation, or which hand is that for you?
Left.
That's left for you? All right, so I don't know why. You know what? I'm not going to fuck with it because I'll just ruin it, won't I? Um, Awesome. All right, so let's talk about what the right hand does. Right? Let's talk about the right hand. And okay, so the right hand was punching down, and then it's going to float back to the hip. Right? It's going to float back to the hip. Actually, I take that back. It's like the old sea shanty and the hornpipe, right? Maybe I've got that wrong. Here's this one. Yeah, you know what I mean. So here is this hand position, and that's what the fist does. Like, so after the punch down here, hornpipe, wait for it, kaboom, and then stick out the tongue. Hornpipe, kaboom. That I think is in the Tai Chi classics, just like that.
I don't think so.
No, maybe in your translation, it's different.
Show it again, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are at punch down. The moment that I begin to shift back, right, for my walking like a cat step, this right hand starts to move into that hornpipe position. Right? Now, simultaneously, I'm shielding my brow from the sun. Now, here comes step 3 of my walking like a cat step, and this is where all hell breaks loose. I step in, the left hand comes to the rib cage, the right hand goes kaboom, and then stick out the tongue. One more time, just, for grins, and then we'll call it a day. All right, so here we are at the end of punch down, sit back, there's the hornpipe, step in, rib cage, kaboom, tongue. And by the time you're in the sticking out the tongue, the hips have closed. So this is a squared off hip for this snake thingy. Yeah. Okay, let's take it from part horse's mane. So here we are at the end of part horse's mane. Right. Sink down, Dan.
Down, I'm down.
Step and punch down. Then sit back and shield your face. Hornpipe position. Step in and drop the rib cage. Kaboom and tongue. Yeah, man, that looks really, really good to me. All right, come on back in. Have a seat. Okay. It's fun. Thoughts, questions, requests? Yeah, Karen.
There I am.
There
You
you
hear
go.
me now? Yeah. I just want to say, the more I practice this, the more I feel what you talked about at the beginning with the rhythm of this, the flow of it, like a rocking chair almost. I'm getting into that more and more as we get more and more into it, and the more I practice it, I'm really feeling that. So
That rocking chair, you know, we call that the sway. And again, because I'm writing a textbook, of course, all these things are fresh in my mind here. The sway is like at the center of everything, of every piece of every part, even if you're not swaying as part of the technique, right? The sway is in there anyway, right? It is the empty full cycle. In the Tai Chi classics, it states explicitly that if you strip out everything else from Tai Chi, it is nothing more than empty and full and open and closed. That's all you need to know. And so, like when you get it, it's like, oh man, like because that phrase just feels really dry and stark. But what that means is this yummy, like just rocking chair kind of thing. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Could I just say, yeah, thank you. How much and I'm sure we appreciate the practice sessions in between that Karen is leading right now. It's been incredibly helpful, really given me a lot of confidence and just more relaxed about it now and able to kind of follow rather than worrying and like, did I get this just right? Or, you know, so she's been really helpful. So thank you, Karen. And thank you for arranging that.
Karen, thank you so much for doing that every week. Who is the best teacher in a classroom setting or in a group setting? Who is the teacher that really, what I mean by best is, if we measure that by who has the biggest impact on helping the other student remember or get it right or figure out the puzzle, right? Who is the best person? I'll give you the answer. The answer, according to Lev Vygotsky, is a person who has just learned it just before. This is what's known as the zone of proximal development.
Oh, that's great.
Like,
correct.
like I was just there, dude. I was just there.
Right. I was going to tell you, but now you got it anyway.
And so when you guys come together and do peer-to-peer, practice sessions, or somebody, who's a little bit ahead of you, like Karen, these are better than me by this learning theory. He makes a really good observation. You just think about it. It's like sometimes the teacher is like, he's so full of all this stuff, I don't even understand half the fucking things he says. Whereas the person who just did it with you is like, listen, it's just X over Y and forget about the other stuff. Why didn't he just say so? Yeah. Seek out, and like if you play tennis, if you're learning tennis, it's like, who do you want to learn from? The tennis pro, you come away with an hour and go, that was a wasted $100, man. I won't remember any of that. But you get with somebody who's just a little bit better than you. Isn't that so much more fun?